as they've been over the past several days, just because we had a cold front move through last night. But the smoke that we're dealing with certainly blocking that incoming solar radiation. But the air quality is far and large the bigger issue today versus the heat. We are talking about an air quality alert in effect for the entire area for what is considered unhealthy for everyone, ranging from code red through parts of southern Maryland, much of Virginia. We've got code purple air quality around the district in parts of northern Virginia, even some areas of code maroon. That is considered incredibly hazardous. This is, again, dangerous for everyone. Thankfully, we saw a lot of folks outside wearing masks, and if you do have to be outside today, that is the way to do it. That's your best line of defense when it comes to the conditions that we'll be dealing with throughout the day. This is 6 o'clock. Really no change to that smoke that we're still tracking, code red to code maroon. By early tomorrow morning, the smoke will start to lift. We'll briefly have some code red Saturday morning before skies continue to clear throughout the afternoon, thanks to a warm front moving through. So even as you look ahead to the start of your Saturday, there will still be some smoke early on. We'll clear things out from a smoke perspective in the afternoon, but then we bring in strong to severe storms that'll also help rinse the atmosphere. And as we look ahead to next week, we've got some cooler temperatures on the way. So all in all, smoke aside, today wouldn't be a bad day to be outside. We've got low humidity, seasonably hot temperatures, but today is a day where you really do have to limit the time that you spend outside. I'll take you hour by hour through when that smoke clears throughout our Saturday forecast and give you a closer look at the storms that we're forecasting as well.
All right, Kaitlyn.
The day we'll continue to see that plume of smoke that right now is thickest through parts of western Pennsylvania and Ohio. That's even going to drift a little farther off to the south, so things will get worse tonight before they get better tomorrow. But if you've got outdoor plans this evening, if you were hoping to grab dinner on a patio, get a drink on a rooftop, you can't do it tonight. It is just going to be too dangerous with air quality ranging from code red to code maroon, the worst it can be and considered hazardous for everyone. Now, by tomorrow morning, this is right around 6 a.m., we'll still have some poor air quality across most of the region, especially as you get to D.C. and points north. Now, it will not stick around for too long. A warm front's going to move through and clear our skies out. But even around lunchtime, we'll still have some moderate to poor air quality. So tomorrow is another day where I would check the air quality before you head outside. You can do it right on our WUSA9 app under the weather tab to make sure it's okay before you get out and about for your Saturday. Now, as we head throughout the afternoon, we're breathing much easier, but we're also tracking some storms. So Saturday, not a great day for outdoor plans between the poor air quality in the morning and then the storms later in the afternoon. Now, some of those storms could be strong to possibly severe. We'll talk about that threat in just a minute. But just look ahead to Sunday. That is your day to get outside. We're breathing easy. We've got partly sunny skies and temperatures that will be a little bit more comfortable in the upper 80s. But as far as the storm risk goes for tomorrow, the entire region at a level 2 out of 5, risk for severe weather with damaging wind as the primary threat. But some storms could produce some hail and some really heavy rain. So isolated instances of flooding not totally off the table. So we'll start things off again with smoke in the morning. Futurecast doesn't look bad, but Futurecast doesn't pick up on smoke. By midday, we'll have clearing skies, still kind of hit or miss on what the air quality is depending on where you are across the area. But then after 1, 2 o'clock, we start to see some of these storms developing. Now, we do look to have a pretty organized line as we head through, say, 2 to 5 o'clock, but the storms do look to move through relatively quickly. So tomorrow is a day where if you get outside in the afternoon because air quality is okay, just have a place to get inside. Storms will not last for too long, but where they develop and when they develop, they will be on the heftier side. But by 5 o'clock, we'll have a lot of areas already clearing out, still some scattered storms on the map, and possibly a shower or two as we head through the late evening hours, say between 9 and midnight. So if you're out late tomorrow night, you'll want to keep that in mind. But for the most part, we will clear skies out and see sunshine back for Sunday with more comfortable temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s. Now, as we head into next week, our temperatures do stay on the cooler side for Monday. Briefly, a bit warmer on Tuesday, but we're only going from 88 to 92, not exceptionally hot. And then another cold front will move through and reinforce some cooler temperatures for the end of July. We're talking mid to low 80s for a good part of next week, upper 80s as we head through the extended forecast. So no major heat on the horizon. That is good news there. And we've only got one more poor air quality day to get through before we really see things clear out as we head through the extended forecast. Now, tomorrow will not be as thick and as dense as today, but we will start the day off with poor air quality on Saturday. But today we are in a code red and code maroon air quality alert for everyone. That means everyone needs to take health safety precautions today. Oftentimes you hear us talk about air quality and impacting more sensitive groups like elderly, young children, people with respiratory and lung disease. But this is a harm for the entire population. So everyone needs to limit time spent outside today. Right now, the air quality ranges from code red, which again is unhealthy for everyone, to code maroon back into parts of northern and eastern Maryland. And that is just about as bad as it can get. And we won't see improvement throughout the day today. So this is 6 o'clock this evening. If you've got plans or you were trying to get in plans outside tonight, whether it's a walk after work, dinner outside, you will need to change your plans because we've got code red and code maroon still in effect as we head throughout the late evening hours of Friday. And again, even into early Saturday morning. It will not be with us all day on Saturday, but the first half of the day will feature at least code red air quality. So we've got smoke to start the weekend, but then throughout the afternoon, we will clear skies out, but we swap the smoke with storms. So if you've got outdoor plans on Saturday in the afternoon, you need to be on the lookout for strong to severe storms between about 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 10 o'clock at night. And coming up in my 7-day forecast, I've got a nice cool down on the way for next week. If you are looking for a break from the summer heat, you'll like the temperatures that we have in store.
We'll certainly see
that can easily get into your lungs and bloodstream on days like today and have consequential health impacts. And that will be with us as we head throughout the afternoon into the evening. In fact, forecast to get a little worse before it gets better tomorrow. You can see more of that deep plume that's impacting western Pennsylvania, working its way back down into the D.C. region. So if you've got outdoor plans tonight, or if you were hoping to get in outdoor plans tonight, I really do recommend you change them to be inside. Now, this is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're still waking up to poor air quality across most of the region, but then a warm front is going to lift north from southwest to northeast and gradually improve our air quality throughout the day. So we will still have some impact early in the morning and through mid-afternoon. So if you are trying to get out and about on Saturday, I really recommend checking the air quality before you do so. You can check it right on our WUSA9 app, and it will tell you what the air quality is and what the impact is, whether it's code orange, code red, and what that really means. Now, as we head throughout the afternoon and evening, we're breathing much easier, but we're also tracking storms. So tomorrow is going to be a day that's difficult to get in outdoor plans. So by the afternoon, we're back in the low 90s. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. That's going to act as fuel for these thunderstorms. So we could see some severe weather on Saturday. So Sunday, that's your day to get outside. Good air quality, partly cloudy skies, and temperatures that will be much more comfortable. So tomorrow we've got a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather for everyone at risk of seeing some heftier storms that could produce damaging wind, some hail, even isolated flooding possible, just given how much moisture is going to be in the atmosphere. So this is 6 o'clock in the morning. I know Futurecast looks clear, but smoke will be the concern early in the day. By midday, we'll start to see air quality improving, and we do have until about 2-3 o'clock until these showers and storms develop. But again, once they do so, they will be on the heftier side. So if you are hoping to get outside, once air quality improves, you just need to make sure you have a place to duck inside if a storm does develop. By 5-6 o'clock, most of the showers and storms will be south of 66 and working their way across the bay. But then it does look like we'll see another round of storms later at night. Not much going on around 8 p.m., but say 10-11 o'clock, another quick round of storms looks to roll through as we head through the late evening hours before clearing out for Sunday. Again, that is your day to get outside, enjoy. We'll have partly cloudy skies, comfortable temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Going to be one of the nicer days of the extended forecast, though if you're not a fan of the summer heat, you'll like the temperature trend as we head through the second half of the month. Briefly hotter on Tuesday, temperature right around 92 degrees, but then a cold front moves through. That could bring in another round of storms Tuesday into Wednesday, but it'll also knock our temperatures back down into the 80s as we close out the month of July. Seems hard to believe summer is flying by so quickly, but it will certainly get cooler as we head through the second half of the month. Big change from how things started. So we've got the weather impact alert for today for poor air quality. May need to issue an alert tomorrow for the showers and storms in the afternoon, but then we catch a break Sunday into Monday before more storms are back by Tuesday.
Yay, Sunday.
That's exactly right, Annie. Today is the worst. Tomorrow's still not perfect, especially in the morning, but it will not be as impactful as what we're dealing with right now. The entire region still under an air quality alert for air quality ranging from code purple to code red. Again, that is unhealthy for everyone. And where we're seeing that code purple, that is what's considered very unhealthy. In fact, some parts of the region back into parts of northern and western Maryland clocking in hazardous air quality. So again, this is what impacts everyone and what really needs to be taken seriously. I've seen a lot of folks walking around outside today with masks on, which is what you need to do if you do plan on being outside. This smoke is just so dense and it's not going to go anywhere over the next several hours. This is 8 o'clock tonight, still dealing with poor air quality ranging from code red to code maroon. So if you were hoping to eat on a patio, go to a rooftop, you've got to move those plans inside. Now, as we fast forward to Saturday morning, still waking up to code red air quality across parts of the region. We're going to start to clear things out first off to our south and west, and then see conditions improve throughout the morning and into the afternoon as a warm front lifts off to the north and pushes that smoke out of our region. So it will be a smoky start to Saturday. It won't necessarily be hazardous for everyone. So tomorrow's a day where you just need to check the air quality before you head outside. You can do it right on our WUSA 9 app under the weather tab. Super easy to see what the air quality is and what the impact is. But then once we clear those skies out, we're tracking some hefty storms tomorrow afternoon. That warm front is going to prime the atmosphere for strong to severe storms, some of which could produce damaging wind, hail, even flooding. We'll time that out for you coming up here in just a few minutes. And then as we look ahead to next week, we finally catch a nice break of weather. It's going to start on Sunday. Sunday's your day to get outside this weekend with unseasonably cooler temperatures around as we head through much of next week. I'll time out all of those changes coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks for the update, Kaitlyn. Let's give you
to that massive plume of smoke that's extending back into parts of western Pennsylvania and up by the Great Lakes. Now, by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll have improvements. Still looking at rocky air quality for the first several hours of Saturday. This is 6 a.m. Most of the region still likely under that code red air quality, but a warm front is going to move from southwest to northeast. That's going to clear the smoke out throughout the morning. So by lunchtime, should be back to moderate to low smoke coverage across most of the area. My recommendation for tomorrow is just check the air quality before you want to go outside. It's super easy to do so right on our WUSA 9 app. You'll see what the air quality is and what the impact is. And then by the late afternoon, all of that smoke will be out of here, but we'll be tracking severe storms. So we do now have a level 3 out of 5 risk, an enhanced risk for severe weather around the DC metro area and up the 95 corridor. That's everywhere you see highlighted there in orange off to the south and west. Still expecting some hefty storms. The severe risk is just a little bit lower, and that's because the warm front that we're tracking does have the potential to stall closer to Baltimore. And if it does, that's going to really enhance our risk for severe weather as we head throughout the afternoon. It's going to give a little spin in the atmosphere. So if that warm front doesn't advance all the way through, we could be talking about an isolated tornado risk. But we will start things off again, smoky in the morning. I know Futurecast doesn't look bad. Futurecast does not pick up on the smoke. And then by midday, we'll start to clear some of that smoke out. But then shortly after that, see 1, 2 o'clock, we start to see the first storms popping up in our westernmost areas. By 3 o'clock, storms are along the 95 corridor and again packing heavy rain, lots of thunder and lightning at a minimum. So if you've got outdoor plans, you need to first check the air quality, and then second, make sure you have a place to get inside as we head throughout the afternoon. And we could see another round of these storms as we head through the later evening hours. This is 6 o'clock, that initial batch kind of winding down and pushing east of the bay. But then Futurecast does try and bring in more storms between about 9 a.m. and midnight. So lots to watch in the forecast tomorrow. Be sure to check in with Miri in the morning. Grace throughout the afternoon. They'll be tracking the changes to the storm forecast as we head throughout the day on Saturday. And then by Sunday, we will all finally be able to get outside and enjoy some nice weather. Now tomorrow, it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. You will definitely notice the humidity back in the forecast, feeling like the triple digits as we head throughout the second half of the day. And that only is going to enhance that storm risk for Saturday. But then by Sunday, it's cooler. It's much less humid. It's still going to be warm, but it's July. It'll be in the upper 80s to low 90s with partly cloudy skies. And as we look ahead to next week, we've got more nice weather to enjoy, especially on Monday. Monday may end up the pick day of the week with temperatures in the mid 80s, lots of sunshine. We will crank up the heat and humidity for both Tuesday and Wednesday with temperatures back in the low 90s with storms possible both days. Tuesday is looking like the wetter of the 2 days with isolated storms on the way for Wednesday, and we'll clear skies out again by the end of the week.
Caitlin, thank you. Well, tonight,
I was like, wait a second. Sunday is going to be great. Saturday, not so much, because we've still got all day today of this just terrible air quality. It will improve throughout the day tomorrow, but it's going to start off rocky and smoky Saturday morning before we clear things out throughout the afternoon and evening. But right now we are still ranging from code red to code maroon. That is hazardous. That's as bad as it can get. So again, cannot emphasize enough that if you have outdoor plans tonight, you seriously do need to consider moving them indoors. If you have to spend a prolonged amount of time outside, you need to be wearing a mask. Now, this is 8 o'clock tonight, and again, no change to that forecast. But by tomorrow morning, again, we start to see some improvements. Still going to wake up to code red air quality for much of the region, but my advice for tomorrow would be to just check the air quality before you go outside. It might be okay for areas south and west of D.C. We've got a warm front moving through. That's going to start to clear things first for our south and west counties, and then eventually off to the north and east as we head throughout the afternoon and certainly into the evening. But by that point, we've also got storms on the way. But for the time being, we do have an air quality alert in effect for the entire region. Again, this is what's considered unhealthy for everyone, not just those sensitive groups with underlying respiratory issues and heart disease. Everyone needs to be taking air quality safety precautions here over the next several hours and even into Saturday morning. So we have extended the weather impact alert for all day tomorrow. It's going to start because of the smoke in the morning. We'll still have that unhealthy air quality for the first half of the day, but then we shift our focus to strong and severe storms throughout the afternoon and evening. That storm threat will start to ramp up after about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, kind of come in a first wave until about 6 p.m. and then looks like we could see a second round of storms between 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night and midnight. So you need to limit your time outside because of the air quality in the morning, and then keep those plans flexible in the afternoon. I know a lot of folks probably going to be anxious to get outside once the air quality finally improves, but if you do have outdoor plans, you need to make sure you have a place to get inside. I'll take you hour by hour through when the smoke is out of here and when those storms roll through coming up.
Sounds good. Caitlin, thank you.
It is going to be great. We're finally going to be able to breathe easy. It's not going to be hot. It's not going to be too humid, and we deserve a nice day after what we've been through this week, from the extreme heat and humidity to now the extreme smoke. As you look live from Earth Cam, we are still dealing with this thick haze across the entire region. It will be with us tonight, even into tomorrow morning. We will still have unhealthy air quality for early Saturday before we see conditions improve from a smoke perspective throughout the afternoon. But then by the afternoon and evening, we're talking about severe weather, some strong storms rolling through. But as we look ahead to next week, yes, some nicer weather is finally on the horizon. So right now we are ranging from code red, which is unhealthy for everyone, to code purple and maroon, which is as bad as it gets from an air quality perspective. And there is no change to that tonight. This is 8 o'clock this evening. That thick plume of smoke still ranging from the mid-Atlantic here across our region back into parts of western Pennsylvania and up into the Great Lakes. Now by tomorrow morning, we start to see it lifting a little farther off to the north and east thanks to that warm front that's going to bump it out of here. But it's still poor air quality in the morning. You really got to check on conditions before you think about heading outside tomorrow. Depending on where you are, you'll clear out a little bit sooner for areas south and west, with some of that smoke lingering a bit longer as you get closer to Baltimore. But by lunchtime, we already start to see some pretty significant improvement. And then by the late afternoon and early evening hours, we're breathing easy, but we're also going to be tracking those storms. We have a level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather. This is enhanced for our region across the Beltway and up the 95 corridor. That's where we have the best chance to see severe weather as we head throughout the afternoon and evening. Biggest threat is going to be damaging wind, some large hail and flooding possible, just given how much moisture is going to be in the atmosphere. But it really depends how far north that warm front gets. If it drapes itself over parts of Baltimore, we could also be looking at an isolated tornado threat if we get enough spin in the atmosphere throughout the afternoon. So tomorrow is a day you absolutely have to stay weather aware, both from the smoke perspective in the morning and then the storms into the afternoon. So we'll start things off again smoky but dry. It's really not until midday when we start to bring in some of those strong to severe storms. This is 3 o'clock, a fairly organized line here as we head through the afternoon hours along the 95 corridor. So if you're off to the west, say 1, 2 o'clock for Martinsburg, Front Royal and Luray. And then as we get towards 6 o'clock, most of those storms starting to work their way east of the bay. Still a few lingering strong to severe storms as we head closer to dinner time. And then Futurecast does try and bring in a second round after about 9, 10 o'clock, lasting through midnight. So be sure to check in with Grace tomorrow. She'll be tracking all these storms as they develop and keep you posted if anything does become strong and severe. Also, great day to have the WUSA 9 app because you will get that alert sent straight to your phone. Otherwise, it's going to be hot and it's going to be humid. Temperatures are going to be back in the low 90s. It's going to feel like the triple digits. It's going to be another sweltering summer day, and that heat and humidity only going to contribute to the storm threat throughout the afternoon. But then Sunday, that's your day. Make those plans outside. Partly sunny skies and temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. In fact, as we head into next week, we've got a lot more days below average than above. It is going to be warm for Tuesday and Wednesday. Those will also be our days next week when we'll have some storms in the forecast, but then we'll clear skies out for the end of the week. Mid to low 80s, sounding very nice right about now.
Kaitlyn, thank you. It is the movie that